Welcome to Weave Along with Elewys. I'm Elewys of Finchingfield. Today we're going to do a 10th century piece from Lithuania. I have been spending a little bit of time in the Baltic states this last few videos, but I keep finding really pretty ones that I want to do. This one doesn't have a whole lot of information about it, but I've been calling it the Lithuanian Zaltys pattern. And I have no idea if I'm pronouncing it correctly because Google Translate doesn't have a pronunciation button on it. Zaltys means grass snake, and this piece has a snake-like shape to it. Archaeologists have found several different tablet weaving pieces in Lithuania, and this is another one that was found. It's a 10th century piece that was found in the grave of a woman in Paradaugis. In a book called the North European Symposium for Archaeological Textiles, this piece was found in grave number 59 that is made from wool in red, gray, and brown. Although they're not sure exactly what materials were used to dye the wool, a textile analysis hasn't been performed yet. The pattern of the stylized S motif is known as a serpent pattern, and this is found frequently in the Baltic countries. Known as the Zaltys in Lithuanian mythology, and is a sacred animal of the sun goddess Saulė, who is the guardian of the home and a symbol of fertility. Now there's a shocker, a snake, symbol of fertility. Killing one of these grass snakes is said to bring great misfortune on your family, so sometimes the farmers would find them in the fields and feed them milk to entice them to get closer, and then bring them home and keep them in their kitchen. That's a big note from me. I actually came across this archaeological drawing a few years ago and wondered where I could find a pattern for it. Well, I searched and searched and searched, and I never did find a pattern. So after getting more experience, a little bit more tablet weaving under my belt, as it were, under my tablet woven belt, I was able to figure out how to create a pattern from the image. Looking closely at the drawings, I can see the little dots on the edge, kind of in between where the S's are, and I said to myself, that looks like a skip hole weave. So I pulled up my favorite tablet weaving design software. It's designed by Catherine and James Weaver, who live in the UK, and have just done some updates to their program, and it's very easy to use. In fact, Catherine just did a video on it, and I'm going to put a link in the description so you can kind of teach yourself how to use the program. But after tinkering with the program for a little bit, I came up with this. And it works great. I wove it up, and it's exactly what it was supposed to be. So the original piece starts out with a series of diagonal lines. You can weave that in there if you want to, or you can skip ahead to pick 17 and weave it from there. So I've drawn up the pattern in 3 different ways. I included the diagonal lines, if you want to do it exactly as it was originally found. I've drawn it up with 56 picks, which is the entire repeat as far as we know. That's the fragment that we have. Or a shorter version of it, which I designed with just 24 picks. If you don't want to do 56 picks to a pattern, there's a shorter version. You could do 24. Dealer's choice. Today's weave in the Laurel Kingdoms project celebrates the Kingdom of the Outlands. It was created in 1986 and encompasses the states of New Mexico, Colorado, the Nebraska Panhandle, parts of Wyoming, El Paso, and Hudspeth counties in Texas. Their colors are green and yellow, and my favorite part of their banner is the deer from the deer crossing sign. Of course, I'm from Ontario, and our banner has the Lowenbrow lion on it, so I guess I'm one to talk. Here's to good friends, tonight is kind of special. It's actually not a bad song for Ontario. Don't tell His Majesty I said that. You're going to need 2 or 3 colors of yarn and 16 cards, so grab your loom and let's get started. Once again, I've got my loom. I've got my tension peg slid all the way to the beginning position. I've got my Lazy Kate with my 2 different colors in it. I'm only doing 2 colors for this pattern. You can do 3 if you want to add another color to your border. In fact, I've drawn it up so that it has a 3rd color, but I'm just going to replace the black dots with white thread instead. The last thing that I need, cards. I need cards. I'm not going to be able to do much weaving without cards. Excuse me just a moment. I think I'm going to go with the Robin and Russ. 16 cards, and I've got my pattern, I've got my sharp scissors, I've got my thread ready to roll. I think we're ready to start working. Okay, first green. And again, I only have 1 spool of the green. I might have another spool, but I'm not sure if it's the same color or the same weight. So I'm going to go ahead and just do 1 at a time like I've done in the past. So, leave a nice long tail pinch it on your forward peg, and then follow the pegs back and forth all the way to the end. Now this should be a fairly quick warp because it is a skip hole weave, and because there are only 16 cards and not, 38 or something like that. I've done ones that big. In fact, I think the biggest one I ever did was 54 cards, and I did that as a commission, so I don't have it anymore, and I would have to see if the owner could get a picture of it. It was all the colors. It was like an Ogilvy pattern or something. It was pretty crazy. Had green and yellow and purple, I think some red. It was loud. But she really liked it, and it was just the right width for a bag that she was putting together, so she really loved it. And then she moved about 300 miles away, so I don't see her very often. But I'll have to ask her for a photo of that piece. I might have one laying around. If I do have a photo of it laying around, I'll put it right here. All right, 4 threads of green, and we're going to thread these S-threaded. So I have my cards clockwise labeled. The card is going to face me, and the S threads are going to go through the back side of the card. Now, it doesn't matter which order you put the threads through. If you go A, B, C, B, A, B, D, C, it doesn't matter, as long as all the threads end up in the correct place. And they all have to be threaded S in the same card or Z in the same card, otherwise the cards won't turn. And we're going to do a surgeon's knot after we make sure that all the threads are on the pegs and nothing's snagged anywhere. Twice around from the left, and then once around to the right. That's a nice modified square knot, and it's not going to be pulling out easily or ever. So yeah. All right, scoot that one back, and we're on to card number 2, which I'm going to do in not white, as I said in the introduction, but yellow. Because we're celebrating the Kingdom of the Outlands. So again, nice long tail. Pinch it with your thumb. Kingdom of the Outlands also shares colors with the Green Bay Packers and the first high school I went to, the Spartans. Now these 2 border cards on each side are going to have 4 threads each, and because it's a skip hole weave, we're going to do 2 threads per card on the interior cards. And if you followed me along on weaving these other skip hole weaves, this is the same kind of thing. I believe there is a pattern for, or an extant piece that was found that had 3 threads per card, and I've been trying to find a pattern for that. I found some bits and pieces, almost a pattern, but I haven't sat down and figured out how that goes together yet. That is definitely on my bucket list. Okay, card number 2. I have set this up also as an S-threaded card, so again, through the back of the card. And once again, checking to make sure it didn't snag on the foot. Left over right twice, and right over left once. Low flying aircraft noises. All right, so for the next bunch of cards, 12 cards or so, 12 cards? Yeah, 12 cards. We're going to do 2 colors at once. Again, leave a nice long tail and put your fingers between the threads. This will prevent them from twisting as you're warping. It's already going to be twisted up enough. We don't need to add additional twist into the threads. And card number 3 is going to be Z threaded, so it'll go through the front of the card. A is yellow and C is green. Surgeon's knot, same as before. Scoot it all back. Card number 4. Hey, that rhymed. Card number 4. Again, these are all Z-threaded for this group. In fact, Z-threaded all the way to the end. B is the yellow. And directly diagonal from that, D is green. We are at last ready to start with the weaving process. I've got my loaded shuttle, I've got my pattern, I've got a ruler so I can follow along line by line. I've got my cup of Earl Grey tea because gotta have that. Oh, it's still a little too hot. All right, first step is to get all the cards lined up so that AD is at the top. So all the cards have to be have to have all the letters lined up the same. Hello, I know words. Words are awesome. And now, as you know, skip hole weaving, the cards will move of their own accord. So you need to have one other piece of equipment. Double check to make sure the threads aren't snagged on another card. That happened the last time, if you remember, or if you were with us. So it needs a pencil. You use the pencil just to hold the cards in place so that they don't move. That is the only purpose of the pencil. It does not change the pattern at all. just holds the cards in place. Smokey is going to be talking to us throughout this entire video because his cage is now located in the hallway just about 20 feet away from where I'm sitting. So you're going to hear him a lot. Like all our weaves, we want to start with a nice long tail on the right side and the shuttle on the left. This is how I do it. You could start it the other way around, but when I'm done with the sequence, I like to place it underneath this piece of elastic here so that the shuttle doesn't fall off and get tangled around the legs of the chair or wherever. It's just something that I do. So we're going to remove the pencil, turn all the cards forward, put the pencil back in, run the shuttle through to the right, and take the tail and run it through to the left. That crisscrossing will help anchor it and keep it from coming unraveled, although I've never really had a problem with these weaves coming unraveled. So we're going to turn the cards forward again, another quarter turn, put the shuttle back, and at this point we could probably start tightening up the weft a little bit. It's almost grabbing. I think it's going to need one more turn. So we're going to turn it forward another time. Shuttle to the right. I'm going to get the tail out of the way now. And then one more quarter turn. Beat it down. Pull that loop. And now we have a nice little diagonal beginning. Now if you want to, you can start this as part of your weave because it's going to be all rows forward for the first several turns. Or you could just start from one right now, which is what I'm going to do. So my diagonals are going to be just a little bit extra long. Again, it's a skip hole weave. Everything's done in twos. So when you turn it a quarter turn, you throw the shuttle, you turn to the same set of cards a quarter turn again and throw the shuttle back. So we're going to start with one, beat, pull, leave the loop behind, turn, beat, pull, leave the loop behind. That's 2 picks. Picks 3. And 4. We got a nice diagonal going right there. 5 and 6, same thing. Seven has cards 13 and 14 going backwards and the rest going forwards. So I'm going to turn those cards backwards and those cards forwards. I'm going to stick the pencil in there and just press the card, the 13 and 14, up to the pencil. It kind of keeps those from twisting while you're weaving. And then again, backwards cards backwards, forwards cards forwards. Beat, pull, and leave the loop behind. Picks 9 and 10. We're going to take cards number, these are all labeled funny, 11 and 12 go backwards, 13 and 14s will go forwards again. So just those 2 cards go backwards, the rest go forwards. Press, pull, leave the loop behind. And you can already start seeing the little dimples that were in the pattern in the extant piece. And now we have cards number 9 and 10 going backwards, 11 and 12 Going forwards again. All right, for pick number 13 and 14, we'll need to have 2, 4, 6 going forward, 7, 8 going backward, 9, 10 going forward, 11 through 14 going backward, and the border cards going forward. So we're going to turn each of those quarter turn the way that they are facing, or shuffled. One of those. Pick your term. And again, press down, pull, and leave the loop behind. Okay, row or pick 15. Scoot all those back up. 1 through 4 going forward. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And again. Seventeen, 18. I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 going backward, and the rest forward. And we're going to continue to follow the pattern. I mean, there are 72 picks to this, so I'm not sure if you want me to talk through every single step along the way. But at least you can see how this is coming together. And like so many of the other videos that I've done, it follows the same steps. You're using the pattern, you're turning the forwards cards forwards, backwards cards backwards, using a ruler so you don't lose your place. Always a good thing, because as you may have noticed, there was a little editing going on because I did lose my place. I turned one too many times forward somewhere and had the cards facing up the wrong direction. It's all about backing up and figuring out where you went wrong. And there is a video that I did on fixing mistakes, so you can check that out. 4 forward, 6 backward, 2 forward, 2 backward. What else is going on in my life? Let's see. My husband has been in Charleston for the last couple of months, and he comes home Friday, so probably about the time that you're watching this. I will be leaving the house shortly to go pick him up at the airport, and then he'll be home for a week anyway. Every other card backwards. every other pair backwards, that is. Oh, push the twist over the peg again. So yeah, work has been keeping him very busy, coming and going. It's been a little awkward, but you know, I've been keeping myself busy like I always do. You may have seen the photos I posted of the hardwood floors that I've been installing. It's the guy that we had asked if he, or the company that we asked to give us a bid for it, wanted $10,000 to install the hardwood floors. And we're talking about 1,100 square feet total. And I said, no. It was just a little above our budget. So I knew how to do it. I did it before. Thought I'd try it again. And I've been mostly successful. You know, run into a few hiccups here and there, but you know, that happens. And I've just ordered a whole bunch of fabric. I've got a couple of different costumes that I'm putting together. Oh, look at that. One snake. That looks really nice. So I've got some wool on order to add a little bit more to my Viking or Norse ensemble. I'm thinking actually about doing a little more Finnish kind of ensemble instead of just basic Norse. I've also got a challenge. There's a group of us who are doing some not Norse, definitely not Norse. In fact, it is Venetian for 12th night next year. So we made jokes about having the Venetian mafia come in and be at court. And I made a sort of Venetian outfit for last year's 12th night. Not this year, obviously, because 12th night didn't happen. But I made one for last year, and it turned out pretty good. I do want to make a few little tweaks to it, raising up the waistline a little bit and adding a little more fullness to the skirt. So I just have to do a bunch of adjustments to the skirt. But overall, yeah, it came together really nicely. 2 forward and 4 backward. This is just kind of dry watching me weave, isn't it? No. And I'm going to have to shift this because I'm running out of weaving space. So I get this question a lot, is how come you only weave this much after you've warped up all of that string? Well, it's circular. So I loosen this, let off the tension, and then I shift it. It's one big circle on this loom. Tighten it up. And then I've got some more space to weave. Easy as that. Two forward, 4 backwards, 2 forwards, 2 backwards, and the rest forwards. So you'll have to let me know in the comments if there's another pattern that you're looking for instructions, step-by-step instructions, if there's a culture or a region that you're looking at doing some more tablet weaving from. My plan is to do the Cambridge diamonds very soon. Maybe the next piece. I haven't decided yet. I'll have to also figure out how many colors there are in the next piece, because the Cambridge Diamonds really works best if you have 3 colors. So I'd considered doing it for this one, but this was only 2 colors, so I figured it wasn't going to work as well. The Cambridge Diamonds is a very different kind of technique, and you'll have to see it because it's a little complicated to describe. But you turn half the cards at a time, and yeah, it's a very complex band. But I think you can do it. If you've gotten this far, if you've done several of these pieces, I think it'll be a perfect next challenge. I have faith in y'all. Yeah, that I was in South Carolina for 2 weeks and I said y'all. All right, where are we at? Pick number 42. More than halfway there. 4 forward, 4 back, 4 forward, and 2 back. Now, if you're new to tablet weaving, you'll notice that the border cards are always going forward. This creates a nice, smooth, braided edge. But when it gets over twisted, I'm going to flip the cards over, and then they'll go the other direction. And that'll take the twist out of the band, or out of the edge, and still leave a nice smooth edge on it. 44. 2 forward, 2 back, 4 forward, 4 back, and the rest forward. So again, this is not a difficult pattern. It's got a lot of steps to it, but it's not difficult. And it has a very, very beautiful pattern to it. Snakes. Number 48. 1 forward, 2 back, 2 forward, 2 back, 2 forward, 2 back. Now, there are several other bands that I've found that also have this S motif, and I know there's a couple of them from Finnish tablet weaving, and the Siksala pattern, I believe, had an S in it, as well as the motif that we did a few weeks ago. So it's fairly common, and I'm not sure if they all have the mythology with the snakes, or if that's particular to Lithuania or the Baltic countries. I'm not from there, so if you're from there, please tell me in the comments. Tell me if those mythological stories are still told to kids. Ooh, got a fuzzy on there. Oh, I got a fuzzy on here too. Fuzzies everywhere. All right, quick tea break. Now it's looking very much like this is a 0 twist buildup pattern. The only buildup that I see on the threads here is the border cards, and that's going to be flipped and it's going to undo itself. So this is another one of those twist neutral patterns. So if you're looking for patterns that you can do that doesn't require the fishing swivels, this is one of those. Pretty exciting. All right, pick number 67, 2 back, 4 forward, 4 back. And again. And 70, 6 forward, 2 back, 2 forward, 4 back. These cards feel humongous after using the 2.5-inch ones. That's kind of funny. All right, last pair. 4 forward, 2 back, 2 forward, 2 back, 2 forward, and 2 back. And that is the end of the repeat. So now you're probably thinking, now wait a minute, the pattern starts with all these diagonals. Where do I start again? Well, start at pick number 17. So skip the first 16 picks, that's all the diagonal, and this is the beginning of the next snake. So this is the bottom tip of that snake.